Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Tash and it's time for another video. This time we are talking about the new Oden Solmane collection. Well, newish. It came out a few weeks ago and I've just got 3 products to talk about. So I have the blush to talk about, the highlighter. There are 3 blushes and 3 highlighters in the collection, but I've only got 1 of each. I do want to pick up the other 2 blushes, but I just picked up the highlighter that I felt was going to suit my skin tone the best. And then I have the Solmane 2 palette. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it as per usual, but I'm doing my best. Anyway, those are the 3 products that I want to talk about today and do a first impressions of and how I feel overall about the products. For today we're just going to do a try on first impressions, so let's get into it. So the blush I got today was the Solmane Sunlight Love Blusher, and this is in Solar Eclipse W104, and it's one of those dual blushes, and this is the shimmery one. This is the one that kind of inspired me the most, and with the highlighter I feel like I'm gonna look like a real shimmer bomb, but I'm really not that bothered. This does have little micro sparkles in it, so if you're not a fan of this micro sparkles on your cheeks, then this is probably not the blush for you. They do have 2 other matte blushes that you can choose from. The packaging on this is absolutely stunning, and then you have the sun embossed on the actual product. We'll start with the blush. So I'm going to take my e.l.f. blush brush and take some product. So this blush is very shimmery, and like I said, if you only like micro sparkles in your highlighter or you don't like micro sparkles at all, then this is not going to be the blush for you. But so far I really like it. I'm not bothered about that kind of stuff, as long as it's not like huge chunks of glitter, and it seems to be going on really nicely. You don't pick up too much product. Yeah, I think that's really nice so far. The next thing I've got is the highlighter, and this is the Sunlight Love blusher. It says on it, but it's a highlighter, and this is in the shade Moon Tears. And again, the packaging is stunning. It's got a really nice moon on it, and then when you open the inside, this is the highlighter, and this also has the embossing on it, if you can see that. I'm just going to take a Kaleidos highlighter brush. I'm not even sure if they make this one anymore. Again, this is very shimmery as well. Okay, so this is more like a purpley pinky toned highlighter, and the blush is kind of orange, which I'm not actually hating the combination. I just need to blend it in quite well. But this highlighter is shiny. It's that really beautiful wet look from space kind of highlighter. If you like something a bit more subdued, then I would stay away from this. But if you are like me and you love a nice shiny highlighter, then I would definitely check these out. It's going to show a tiny bit of texture because I do have texture on my skin, as we all do. It's not bad, it really isn't. So if you can see, even though this blush is like a peachy orange shade, the highlighter itself is like a pinky purple shade. I have blended them in. Next we're going to get onto the Solmane 2 eyeshadow palette. I don't have the first one. I think it's still available. If it is, I'll link it down below, but this is the second one. Oden's Eye kill it with the packaging, they really do. Absolutely beautiful. You've got the sun and the moon on there, just like you do on the highlighters and the blushes. You get a nice little mirror there, and then these are your shades. So yeah, you get loads of like golds, yellows, pinks, mauvey tones, blues, a really nice array of shades. And I thought I'd want to do something obviously a bit colourful, because it is a colourful palette. Although if you wanted to go neutral, we do have a neutral shade in there. This one here called Dust. And then you could use like those mauvey tones as well if you wanted something neutral. So you can do something neutral with this palette. Of course, you've got the golds in there as well. But me being me, I definitely want to do something a bit more colourful. So I think I'm going to do like a blue, purple and gold eye. I'm not sure. I think I might use the shade Moon on the inner part of the eyelid. This doesn't have any kind of inner corner highlighty shades for me. I would probably use the yellow, but as for shimmery inner corner highlighter shades, then it doesn't really have much. I think what I'm going to do is a blue, purple, goldy, yellowy kind of vibe. First off, let's zoom you in a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So the first shade I'm going to take is this shade here called Planet, and I'm going to put that in my, well, the outer half of my crease. And I'm using a Singe brush. These are all Singe brushes, and this is the EO3. Singe brushes are just, Singe brushes are just my favourite at the moment. That's pretty. So I'm just placing that in the outer part of my crease. I haven't swatched these yet, but I do usually love the Oden's Eye formula. Okay, I'm then going to take this yellow shade called Star, and we're going to put that on the inner half of the crease, avoiding the inner corner. I think I'm going to swap my brush and use just a slightly smaller brush. This is the EO2, because I just want to get right into the crease area. So this shade is lovely. A matte yellow shade, it's really nice and pigmented. I'm just going to take a little bit more of that purple shade, very little amount, and then I'm going to start blending those 2 shadows together. The next thing I'm going to do is take an EO4 and we're going to dip into the shade Lunar Eclipse. We're going to place that in the outer corner. I have a feeling this is going to be quite pigmented, so I'm just going to try and build it up rather than go full steam ahead with it. And this is just going on the very outer corner. I'm not going to bring it in halfway across or 2/3 the way across. I just want it on the very outer corner because I want to put quite a few shades on the lid. I'm not really noticing any kick up in the pan. I am tapping my brush off because I always do, and I'm not noticing any fallout either. Oh, that's really beautiful and rich. I'm then going to take a blending brush, and this has got nothing on it, and I'm just going to blend those two shades together. So far these mattes are lovely, they are blending beautifully. They're not hard to blend, they're not blending away. I'm then going to take that same shade and pop it on my lower lash line. Just about 1/3 of the way across, and I'm just going to join it up to the outer corner. So if you've watched my last couple of videos, you'll know I had trouble finding my glitter glue. I was using setting spray, but I've actually found my NYX glitter glue now. I'm just going to start applying that basically on the rest of the eyelid, and this is just going to help to keep those really sparkly shimmers in place and also hopefully give a bit more intensity. So I'm then going to take the EO7. This is like a detail brush, but I really like to pack on shimmery shades with it. We're going to go into the shade Pluto, purpley shade at the end, and we're just going to start placing that on top of the glitter glue. Oh, that's pretty. These shades are quite flaky, so I did just get a little bit of fallout there, but nothing too crazy. Then I want to go into this, it's like a blue to purple shift, and this is a shade called Universe. I'm going to take a little bit of that on the same brush. I just want to place it just a little bit next to that shade. So a little bit next to that place and a little bit on top as well. And I'm just going to wipe away any fallout that I've had from that shade. That's probably the worst for fallout, that Universe shade, although the other shades are quite flaky as well. That's just something to remember while you're working with these. The next thing I want to do is go into the shade called Moonlight. And we're just going to keep going along the eyelid. So we're just going to put that, oh that's stunning, next to Universe. Okay, I'm an idiot, my camera stopped recording and I don't know where I got to. I basically did my lower lash line and I did it in more intense colours. So the top lash line is kind of not really subdued, yeah, I'm just going to do more subdued but really metallic colours. But lower lash line is kind of more intense. The bright gold and the brighter blue down there. I then put some highlighter on my inner corner just to brighten that area. And basically now I'm just going to do some eyeliner and some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the final look. I just used a couple of the multichrome highlighters. I just used a couple of the multichrome eyeliners from Colourpop. I really recommend these, I think they're great. I've had them for a while now and they stay decently for me anyway. I use purple on the outer half of my waterline and then blue on the inner half. They do shift, and not that you can see from here, but they do shift. I don't know why I'm moving my head like that. But they're really, really beautiful. As for the collection, I do really like the blush and the highlighter. I will say though, if you are not down for shimmery blushes with micro sparkles in them, or quite obvious glitters in them, then go for the matte shades. They do 2 matte shades, but I do love a shimmery blush and I think this one is beautiful. Same goes for the highlighter. I noticed that it's kind of changed colour here in the middle since I put my brush in, so I don't know if this is an overspray and it's not going to be as glittery as you get through it. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to keep using it and I'll get back to you. But I absolutely love this. You know I love if you've watched my last few videos, you know I love a highlighty moment. So as for the palette, I do love it. I have a couple of things to mention. I have this with Oden's eyeshadows a bit anyway, but these are, you might notice in the pans, they're quite flaky and almost quite creamy, if you can see that, it moves around a bit. So beautiful. I know it's on my eyes, but even when I swatch it, it's just magical. So I would beware of fallout with these, especially of a glittery nature on the shimmer shades. I mean, they are so sparkly and beautiful, but if you are worried about that, powder under your eyes or definitely do your base first. I feel like I will do my base first because I definitely have sparkles on my nose. There's no denying it, I look like I'm ready for Christmas on my nose. But apart from that, first impressions, just the amazing, beautiful Oden's eye quality. I think this palette is magical. I am going to say it's magical. It just makes all my colourful wishes come true. And yeah, I love the colour story. I think the colour story is fantastic. What I would have liked to have seen, and I understand why they haven't done it, is maybe a brighter pop of pink. I don't know where they would have put it. I'd say maybe instead of one of these purples, but I kind of like all the purples and I like all the blues, so like it would just be one extra shade, so I understand why they haven't done that. So I couldn't choose between any of these which ones to get rid of. I think the only shades I didn't use today were this matte blue, this matte mauvey shade, this shade here, and this shade called Dust, but I've used everything. Oh, and this shade here called Saturn, but I've used everything else, and so far I really love it. I just would say beware of that fallout. So yeah, that is my first impressions roundup of the Oden Solmane 2 collection. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful in some way. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more videos like these. Anyway guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next one.